Let me ask you, I know you said you would like to make 30 grand. Ideally, would you be open to a partnership if we were to able to move this together and structure something?
I mean, tell me more. I can't say right now. Hello.
Mr. Marcus,
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing amazing, brother. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
That's good. Did they let you know I was going to give you a call this morning?
Not you specifically, but they said that we were going to have a phone call, so I was
Oh,
prepared.
well, here we are. By the way, my name's Chris Silva. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
That's good. That's good. So, talk to me, Marcus. I was actually calling about the house. They told me that you had a house that you were trying to offload and it hasn't moved for whatever reason. What's the story on this?
So I bought it, just as I guess kind of an investment. I
Okay.
never really planned on fixing it. If I had extra money, I probably would fix it, but I decided to, let's see what is out there as far as being able to sell it beforehand. And so pretty much that's where I'm at.
Oh, okay. So, kind of like
And
a wholesale deal. Like you bought it, closed on it,
I
and you're
guess
just turning around and try to
I guess
flip it.
so. Yeah, it's like a family friend who's, needing some, I don't know, basically she started getting some health issues and she wanted to be closer to family. So she ended up moving to Florida and I just had some extra cash and I saw an opportunity to buy something, relatively inexpensive in New Braunfels. So I figured it was a decent opportunity. And, just like most people these days, they're always looking for like a side hustle. So I was like, well, just the land itself is probably worth more or somewhere right around there. So hopefully I can maybe get a little more out of it for my money. So I
Yeah.
figured it wasn't a bad move.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you from New Braunfels or this is kind of
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. This area like 2 years ago.
okay? Oh, but you're living in the area.
Yeah, I'm in the area.
Cool, cool, cool. Let me ask you, why don't you just turn around and rent it for now? Or is
It's
that
just not quite rent ready. I wouldn't say it's in bad shape, but it definitely has seen lots of years of neglect. The
I
lady was on a fixed budget, and she had lots of issues, like personal issues, like financially, and then also just like family things. So she ended up fixing the roof like in 2016. But that took a lot of her money away, and then family issues and financial issues. She couldn't get to the rest. It does appear that she did start doing some of the work,
mm-hmm.
and so, but I think what she told me was she ran out of money and then couldn't get more of it done. She would have liked to fix the whole thing, but yeah, as of right now, it's not quite rentable. It's definitely going to need to be fixed up. I think the foundation would need to be first thing on the list because it is definitely, you can definitely see that there's movement. But this side of Texas, this is pretty common. So
Yeah, I was about to
I'm
say
not
over
scared
there
of
there's
that.
a lot
Most
of
people aren't.
that
Yeah,
tends to be the problem with a lot of houses is typically the foundation.
yeah, and it's an easy fix. And when we moved here, we bought a house and the foundation was just a little bit off, and so we had the company come out and do a whole new foundation. And yeah, I mean, it took them like 6 days, and they did the whole thing. And so, yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's a common issue this way from everybody I've talked to.
Yeah, and by any chance, have you gotten any quotes on the foundation or anything on the repairs of the house?
No, I haven't done any of that. I figured, if there's an investor or, maybe like a house builder that's going to look at it, they're going to obviously
Yeah, do what
maybe
they
have an
gotta do.
idea. Yeah, or at least, if they don't have an idea, then call someone. That's like the due diligence part of it.
Yeah, 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 for sure. No, for sure, for sure, for sure. And is this your first investment in like real estate?
Well, I guess if you count my personal house, and then another house, no. But I'm just getting into it. I guess you could say I'm not really like a real estate guy necessarily, but when I had some extra cash, like I said, and like I said, it was a friend of a friend's family member that had this house. So I guess you could say I was trying to help someone, but at the same time, I saw an opportunity to maybe make a
Opportunity.
little bit of money on top. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just want to make it very clear to you, Marcus, that you in real estate, that's one of the best things you could do as long as you just get started. And that's exactly what you
yeah,
did. As that's exactly what you did. And I think a lot of people fail to take like that action or take that risk and they just continuously just question. And yeah, to be honest, is it hard? Yeah, for sure it's hard, but it can be simple. It's not
yeah.
easy. It can be simple. So just kind of going based on it. So your goals is kind of you want to get in, make a little bit of extra money, try to just turn around, make it quick, and little by
Yeah,
little start getting into the game. Is what I'm understanding.
pretty much. Yeah, I mean, if I could make a couple of bucks on the air, that would be nice. And then Because don't get me wrong, that's a great area. If I had the money, I would love to fix it up and turn it into something nice. Because actually, my realtor was telling me that there's commercial capability for that property because of all the properties that are already there. There is commercial on those properties, and so he was telling me that he thinks that somebody would scoop this up, build a house in the back, and then use the main house that's there now, and turn it into some sort of business. And I was like, man, that's a great idea. So he was going to list it on some commercial website. I can't remember what he said, but
LoopNet.
something like that. He never got around to doing it, I don't think. But that is a key point that I didn't even know until he mentioned it. So that's really cool because they're building a ton of houses in that neighborhood, like literally down the street. All there's already a few neighborhoods of custom homes, not HOA cookie cutters. They're all custom homes with like an acre or half an acre, all that. And these houses are like $500,000-$600,000 right now. And then they're building a whole bunch more custom home neighborhoods across the street and down the other streets. And once there's like, a couple hundred more houses, I'm
Once you
guessing
get them to talk, you want them
maybe
to
like a
say
flea market
everything.
or maybe like a hair salon or something right there would be great. And he was also telling me too that if there's a way to maybe build another house and then renovate the front house, you could possibly even do like a rental to the nurses because it's only 10 minutes away from the hospital. And he said sometimes there's travel nurses and they pay lots of money to have a temporary place to live. So he was telling me all about this area, and I was like, man, I didn't know any of this. Like, I guess I kind of stumbled into a gold mine, but for some reason, I just haven't had anybody give me a legitimate offer.
Yeah, absolutely. And why do you think that is? Do you think it's more the price, or based on what you're telling me, it sounds like it has a lot of potential. Do you think it's more
Right.
like on the price, or do you think it's more like they're waiting to like just for it to be developed and done?
I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. I think when I listed it, it was in the dead of summer or dead of winter. And he told me it was a slow season. So he said that, don't expect too much activity. And I really didn't see much activity until I would say late January, February is when I started seeing a lot more activity. And so, like the last couple of months, like the last month and a half, I'd say has been really busy. Lots of people looking at it, and then lots of people just kind of driving by and stopping. And I've had a couple of people kind of throw an offer out there, but then they wanted to do more, I guess, research and whatnot. So they never ended up actually writing a contract. But so I mean, there definitely has been interest. It's just he was also telling me that right now a lot of houses are sitting, so he thinks that there's just less serious buyers out for bigger projects. And so he told me just to hold on. It's not going to be immediate, but somebody will come along eventually. It's going to take the right person to know the neighborhood and understand where this is located, because it's also located at one of the better schools in the area too, the school district. So, I mean, I'm just kind of surprised because I thought when I first was looking at it that some of these things were what people were looking for. But I've had a lot of people tell me too that it's too far out of the city, but it's really not. I mean, from the major shopping and the area you want to be in, and the Buc-ee's and Best Buy and Target and all these things, you're only 10 minutes away, and you're 10 minutes away from the hospital. So I mean, I don't think that's too far. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. And
You
did
could be
you?
in the city and farther than that.
I know exactly what you're saying, and it just like
Yeah,
you said, it takes that right buyer. I feel, and that's why I say
yeah.
it's just real estate's one of those things that if not now, I mean, you just continue to hold, and that the only thing about that when like you're holding, it's just like obviously you have holding costs. Did you finance this? Did you go hard money conventional, or you buy it cash?
So I paid mostly cash, but I did get a little bit of financing for it because I didn't have quite the rest of it. Plus, the previous owner didn't tell me, but part of her financial issues were kind of they came out later on. She ended up having a lien on the property, and it ended up
Mm.
being 15 grand more than what we thought it was going to be. So I wasn't prepared for that until the very end. So that's why I had to get some help because I didn't have quite all of it. But anyway,
Yeah, and then those are the things again. That's the best. I mean, that's not. I was gonna say that's the best thing about real estate. That I mean, at the end of the day, you could potentially make that money back. It just goes to the time on it.
yeah, that's what my realtor was saying.
Yeah. So, um, okay. Why? Let me ask you this: why don't you get a partner involved, or you just have no one? Is that
Yeah, I just moved here like 2 years ago, and I've met a couple of people, but I just I don't know. I just don't have like. I mean, besides, I mean, I could go to people and ask them questions, but I just don't feel like I could really like partner up, or I just don't feel like I don't know. I don't know what it is. It would be nice to, have a partner in crime doing real estate, but I just haven't found that person yet, I guess, and also, um, I don't know. I got a family and stuff to worry about. So I'm just really, I don't like leaving the house too much because, I just had a newborn. And so I don't know. I don't have really any friends here. I just moved here like 2 years ago. So I just have like the one friend that I knew that lived here. And anyway, kind of
Yeah,
a weird story.
absolutely.
But
And see, that's really what it comes down to. And I mean, when I talk to somebody, I really feel like there's for me, it's like I'm put in front of somebody for a certain reason. So that's actually what I do
yeah.
is I buy real estate all over Texas, New Mexico, other states as well too. And I
Hmm.
teach people and I show people because I truly believe that everybody should be either one, invested into real estate, or two, be investing into other people's deals. And that's just something with
Yeah.
inflation and the economy and everything going on right now. And a lot
Hmm.
of the times we're always looking for that person. At least when I first got started, I tried looking for that person and I never had that person. So now I try to be that person for other people and helping them out and seeing what we could do together. And at the end of the
Yeah.
day, as a family man myself, I know how hard it could be with trying to get into something new and still trying to balance out everything else.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
so let me ask you this is how much are you all in on this deal? Or what was it that you were ideally trying to profit on this? Like after realtor fees and stuff like that, like what did you want to profit?
Most I can get. I'm just
Absolutely.
messing with you. I really didn't put any numbers together. I just, obviously I know what I bought it for, and I know relatively what it's going to cost to sell it. Commissions and all that. But I don't have a set amount. I mean, at this point, I would just like to move it. I'm not really trying to get rich, but a couple of bucks would be nice. Let's see. I guess to answer your question, if I could make 30 grand or close to that, that'd be great.
Okay.
um, you know, and if I make a little less than that, I'm not going to be upset. That's for sure. But, it just really depends because, I mean, I don't know. I guess it just depends on the buyer. You know what I mean? Like, if they're going to buy it at what price makes sense to them to buy it at. Some people have told me that the land value is only 20 grand and that's what they would offer me. I'm just like, I think you're crazy because, there's nowhere in New Braunfels you could even buy a 5,000 square foot lot for that price. There's just absolutely zero chance. There's nothing available. There's no comparisons or anything sold in the last even 2 years, probably for even anything close to that. So, I mean, unless you buy something off market, maybe, and nobody knows about it, maybe. But then again, that's a one-off situation.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so it just depends on the buyer, really, what their plan is, and if you add the commercial element to it. I mean, the way I see it is, in New Braunfels, values are only going to go up. So in 5 years, once all those houses are built and everyone's living there, and they build more houses, and that's a big community now over there. A grocery store or like a convenience store or something right there where this house is located now is going to be crucial for that neighborhood, because otherwise you got to drive into town to go to a store, or someone else is going to do that idea, and you'll just have more competition. So, um, like I said, it just depends on the buyer, you know, because
Absolutely.
some people don't see the value like I do. Some people just see the land value. I get it, because everyone's got to look out for their own interest, but you also have to strategize too. Each property has its own potential. Like, can you tear this down and build apartments there? Maybe, maybe not. You'd probably have to check with the county on that. But this might not be the apartment, lot. This might be something better for maybe building a house in the back and using the front as a business. And actually, you also have to look, if you're an investor, you have to look at the end buyer too, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
once you're done doing your work, what is the end buyer going to come along and see? Are they going to see a potential to live in that area, or are they going to see a potential to live in there and make some money on their property as well? There's a lot of people who have chickens. There's a lot of people who have, goats and whatnot, and they like to sell their stuff. Well, that would be a perfect little mini farmers market type of thing or something like that. I mean, it's not uncommon for that to be the case, and because it's outside the city limits, you don't have as many restrictions as you do inside the city.
Well, I'm gonna lock it up and sell it to one of you guys here on the group. Yeah, and I think like you said, it just really depends on who the buyer is, and I actually might have some people that might be interested in it. Um,
Yep.
and just going back is just the amount of work that needs to put into it and stuff like that. Now, let me ask you. I know you said you would like to make 30 grand. Ideally, would you be open to a partnership if we were to able to move this together and structure something?
I mean, tell me more. I can't say right now whether I'm
Yeah, no,
interested or not
absolutely. So
because
this is ideally what I'm thinking, kind of right off the
yeah,
back is. So you said how much do you owe? What's the loan amount on this, or what do you pay monthly on it?
I don't remember exactly the monthly payment, but the loan is I'm thinking somewhere around 80 grand.
80 grand. Okay, so
Yeah,
80 grand. You probably what is it? Is it hard money or conventional?
I'm not really sure. My realtor is the one that helped me out
Do you
to
remember
get the loan.
what interest rate it was
It
at?
it was like 12%
Okay,
or
so
something
it's
like that, or
it's probably
14.
hard money.
Yeah,
Do you know what kind of balloon you have on that? Do you know by
no,
when you have to sell that?
no, I don't. No, it was one of his friends, and I just remember that I had to come up with a down payment at
Hmm.
closing, and then he sent a bunch of paperwork to the title company, and I signed a bunch of stuff. But
Oh my goodness, bro! You gotta read
yeah,
what you sign, man.
well, I mean, I like the
You-
realtor said it would all be good because he thought it would have sold fast, so he said it doesn't even matter.
Nah,
He's gonna get
now
what
he
he
should be partnering with you. You should make him pay the down payment half and half.
right?
If he thought it was gonna sell fast, hey, bro, you gotta put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, I
Okay.
hear you.
No worries on that, bro. Okay, cool. So we're in. So this is kind of what I'm thinking is ideally so that way we could stop the bleeding. Is this and this is just kind of off the top of my head. There's so many ways to structure deals. Is what I'm interested in doing is probably going in there. I would take over your current mortgage, whatever that mortgage is, just depending on the loan. That's the biggest thing that I would need to see. And then
Yeah,
based on the money that you want to make. So obviously after closing costs and things like that, I know you said 30. I'm not going to say it can't give you 30, but let's just say it were to be 30. So we're in 80 plus 30, and then I don't know how much was your down payment.
20,
So
26.
see how I just got him to tell me how much he owes? Okay, 26. So we're in at, see, 80 plus 26 and then plus 30. Ideally, we're probably in about 136. So, kind of the way we would structure this deal is if you're 30 plus the 26, and this is just going saying that I could give you back the 30 and the 26. So it'd be 30 and 26. That would be, let's call it about 50 grand even. So what we would do is on that $50,000 is I would seller finance that with you. And meaning I would be making you monthly payments until I'm able to get in there. I start fixing up the house. It allows me to come in, use my money to fix up the house. I start doing rehabbing. I start doing all that stuff. I put together a crew. I actually have some partners that work in the San Antonio area. So that's what I'm thinking. It's just kind of getting them on board and being able to walk the property and seeing what we have to do just to make sure it makes sense. And then ideally, what we would do is we would refinance this property. Now, once we refinance this property, this is when you get cashed out. However, the biggest thing, like I told you earlier, is I'm all about the relationship. You obviously want to get into the game, you want to learn this game. I actually buy there in San Antonio as well and Houston. So ideally, after I cash you out, I would like to partner up with you on other deals. I know you said you're a family man and time for you is kind of like the biggest thing. So then what
Yeah,
we would then do is basically I would find a deal. We would go into a deal together. You would put up the 20,000, 30,000, whatever it is per the deal that we're trying to get into. And then basically, if we're going to do fast turnaround, or we could do cash flow turnaround, where we're just making cash flow on these deals and then ideally getting the money back and then moving to the next project, getting the money back and moving into the next project. And this is something ideally that would not only benefit you because now you're not leaving no money on the table, but most importantly, you're not making any more payments, so you're not losing any more money.
Yeah, I hear you. So what type of time frame are you thinking then? Because this is going to need some serious rehab. So I mean, it would probably take a little while to make the house refinanceable.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's just kind of the biggest thing is the timing on it. Is again
Hmm.
going back to it, is it could take as little as 6 months to a year. It could go up to 2 years, just depending on what it is. However, in that time, you're receiving that monthly cash flow. And whenever the refinance happens, that's when you're getting paid out completely. Now, another thing that we have to take into consideration is that hard money loan. Because
Right.
with that hard money loan is we got to see what the term is on that, what the terms are,
Mhm.
because they might have a prepayment penalty in there, which means that
Uh-huh.
we can't refinance the loan until 3 years, or we
Yeah.
have to pay 3% or 2% or
Mhm.
1%, whatever it is. Or it might have a balloon in there for 5 years, meaning we have to
Mhm.
refinance in 5 years. However, it
Yeah.
probably wouldn't take that long, but there's just stuff after reviewing the note that we would have to see. But again, I think the biggest thing is um, you're not losing any money and you're maximizing your dollar.
Well, I gotta ask you this too, though. But so for example, if you're gonna refinance, then what's it called? What are you gonna do with the property after you refinance it? Then.
Well, I mean, there's several strategies, and again, it goes back to whoever wants to on the construction side, or whoever I'm thinking the buyer is. But it's either we refinance it, we sell it, or we build, like you were saying, because based on that potential, it's there. But the thing is, not everyone's like you and I. Not everyone sees
Yeah.
that potential. And they're the biggest thing
Right.
when it comes to potential is, well, it's gonna cost money. It's gonna cost money to make that potential. Yeah, you're right. But now if you have the time, then and
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like there's so much that goes into it. But I mean, there's multiple strategies that we can do, whether we refinance it or whether we sell it, or yeah. I mean, I think those are the two strategies.
Well, yeah, because I don't know if after all this is said and done, paying me a profit and all that, paying the loan and doing all that, it would be worth it to rent it unless you did some sort of like Airbnb because rent, let's just say maximum probably 1,500, maybe 2 grand if you're lucky after repairs. I think you'd probably be into it a whole lot more than it would be worth to rent it. So it almost pretty much have to be
Just
sold
throwing himself in the hole.
to like an end buyer.
Absolutely, and that's the biggest thing though. So regardless of whatever like the exit is, it's going to need to be refinanced or sold. And I agree with you; it's probably going to have to be sold. But the biggest thing is because we have that term with the hard money lender. So yeah, I'm all on board on that. Is as far as either selling or refinancing. But see, the best thing about this is like you're protected by the asset because that 50 grand is going to be carried on a promissory note and a deed of trust tied to the property. So like you're going to get paid regardless. You're
Hmm.
making your money regardless, you know? So if we sell it to somebody and they either refinance it or they sell it, I mean, that's kind of on them. If not, we take back the property.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it sounds good. It's just the problem is I'm really not trying to hang on to it much longer. I'm trying to move forward. I'd rather get a cash offer and just move on.
Yeah.
Um, and if even if I had to take $20,000 instead of 30 just to move, that's fine. And so kind of that's what I'm looking out for
Mm.
is just the right scenario because I don't really want to be tied to this much longer because then taxes are going to come up and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
um, it's
Absolutely.
just not something I'm really into necessarily doing right this moment.
Yeah, so
I mean, it
ideally
sounds
for
great.
you
I get what you're
it's
saying.
you would kind of just want to make your money back. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, because basically, again, I didn't anticipate having to spend more money than I thought originally. So already it was a tough decision to buy it, and then on top of that, I had to end up spending more, and then now I'm stuck paying. So it's been kind of a little bit of a financial burden, in a way. So I'd like to just be able to sell it and move on. That was kind of my goal from the beginning. Still is my goal. Um, and so like a partnership, dude, that sounds awesome, man. I really like that thinking, kind of, trying to do what you can to help both people. It's awesome. But right now I'm more looking to just pretty much move it and be able to have some money back in my pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. So ideally, and I don't know if I would be able to make this happen, but what I'm gonna do is I have some other people, the contractors that I was talking to you about, out there in San
Yeah.
Antonio, and what I'm thinking is like, if I'm able to get you the $20,000, ideally, that's gonna put you in a happy place, basically.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. As long as I can move this thing and walk away with some profit, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then time frame. What does your time frame look like? How soon,
I don't
if they were to
I
say
don't
like,
have a
hey,
time frame,
no, if
but
they were to,
sooner the better.
yeah, if they were to tell you, hey, okay, we could do $20,000. This is something you would be able to move forward on.
Like what do you mean by the $20,000 though?
Yeah, like if they told you, hey, we're gonna be able to net you out $20,000 after the closing costs, after everything, um, you're gonna get the $20,000 net.
Plus 80,000. See, plus realtor, I think is going to be like 10 grand. I think.
So now, oh, so you have it on the market right now with a realtor.
Yeah, it's on the
Ah,
market.
I see.
I'm pretty
I
sure I
see.
sent the lady the Zillow listing. The lady who I was talking to, I can't remember her name, but the one who told me about this phone call, I
Yeah.
sent her the Zillow thing. So
Oh, okay. Well, on that side, we would probably just need to, and if the realtor's a friend of yours, we could probably just pay his commission because then we won't get
yeah,
like a buyer's agent involved. He'll just be get
yeah,
paid for like the seller's agent.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, I don't even know if that's up to him or not, but I'm cool with that for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Just so we're on the same page. So yeah, so it would be 80/20, and then whatever I would talk to him about paying his commission, like, and then before we talk to him, ideally I just want to make sure that we're able to do it so that way we're not kind of jumping the gun on anything, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna talk to someone else about want to take a look at it
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
thinking.
estimate it.
Exactly, exactly. So that way, and then if they are interested, what we'll do, Marcus, is we'll touch base later on here in probably in a few hours, in a couple hours, or maybe later on this afternoon. So that way I could get some numbers together. But now that I know ideally what you're trying to do with this, then I think it's something that's possible.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Let me know. If he needs me to meet him there and let him inside, that's totally fine. Just let me know or have him call me.
By any chance, do you have any pictures of the inside?
Yeah. They were on the Facebook thing, so I don't know how much communication you've had with the lady.
I have had zero conversation. It was actually brought to someone on my team. So I real estate is all I do full time. So it was someone that was on my team that brought me the deal, and the one that, so that's how who I was in contact with. So I just looked it up on Zillow right now.
Okay. Yeah, I sent her the Zillow thing, and then on the Facebook thing, it has all the pictures of the inside and everything. So Zillow doesn't have the pictures, but my Facebook listing does. So how do I send that to you? Should I share it to you?
Yeah, you could text it to me. This is my personal cell phone number, so you could also say my number, man.
Okay. Well, let's see. For some reason, it's not showing up on here. 915, maybe?
Yeah,
No.
that's it. 915-667.
Oh, no, that's not it. Okay. Hold on.
I could shoot you a text message so that way you have it.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Send it to you. And it has all the pictures. Because the other thing is that it's kind of hard to send them on Messenger and stuff. That's why I posted all the pictures because people said they weren't getting them. Okay. See if that works.
Boom, I received it.
Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, I'll take a look. I'm gonna share this as well too, and then hopefully that we're able to do something. And then once we do this, I mean, if there, let me ask you this: do you plan on doing another investment, or would you be interested in doing another investment?
Maybe down the future, but it just depends. I probably won't want to do something like this where I got to get a loan and and stuff like that. I just feel like it's too much interest, and it's kind of a big risk, because you never know, right? I mean,
Well, see, that's the best thing of having someone experienced on your team, man. And I just want to let you know, like,
yeah,
for me, it's just kind of educating people, and this is something again that I wish I knew a lot sooner. So now I
yeah,
try to like just help people as much as I can. So as far as that, I mean that it could be deal to deal, and that's something I could just present to you if there's a deal that kind of even maybe it's not even 20, maybe it's even 10. Maybe it's 5. Maybe it's 15. Hey, Marcus, this is how we're gonna buy this
yeah,
house. This is what we're gonna do. A deal you're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and this is what the exit strategies are, and this is how we're gonna
yeah.
move it.
Yeah, I guess if there was some more room there for sure, because like right now, like initially, obviously, I thought I was going to make a little more money, but things always change. So I was more comfortable with it at the moment, but now I'm seeing that I'm getting closer to the limit, and so that's why I'm saying I don't know if I'd want to do something like this. If I was going to do something like this again, I'd probably want to have more room in there just to guarantee,
Yeah.
because it's been what I bought it in November. It's almost April, so I mean we're talking 6 months almost. So you know I mean, my realtor told me that it was like a slower market for sure. So I kind of anticipated some waiting, but again, it's just like after all the fees and everything's paid, I'm just not gonna be not gonna be walking away with as much as I thought. So
But that's
it's
okay
not.
though, Marcus. I want to make that very clear. And like, and a lot of people want to get into real estate because they want to do like a quick flip and get rich overnight. Like this isn't a get
Yeah,
rich overnight. In the process, is there a chance that we might land a deal and it comes in and we make a quick 20, quick 30, quick 40, quick $50,000? Yes, it does happen.
yeah,
However, it as long as you're making a little bit of profit, 5, 10, 15% returns. I mean, not even the banks are paying 15% returns.
yeah. Hmm.
So this is something that it's a long game, and that's what I want to make clear to you because I think a lot of people get discouraged when they don't make the money that they think they're gonna make. They're like, oh my gosh, like I was supposed to make X amount of dollars or double my money, and it's just like no, you keep moving it. And investment is not about the instant gratification. It's about the longevity of it and
Yeah,
learning and then taking a little piece and then learning and then taking a little piece and then learning. So that's the biggest thing here.
yeah, yeah. I guess what I would probably be more into is something that could give like I don't know, some sort of business that would make more like monthly income instead of like the in between stuff. Because like I always envisioned maybe owning like a, I don't know, like a pawn shop or something like that. I think that would be really cool. So if I could get into something like that, I definitely would be interested.
Well,
You
see,
know,
I think there's a lot of risks that come into that. And see, this is what I tell people about real estate. Yeah, you could probably go in there and make money, but now you got to put in work. You got to have overhead. You got to have labor and stuff like that. But
right?
if I could like, what I'm thinking is like, you could become one of our private money lenders. And our private money lenders make anywhere between 6 to 15% on their money. Now, your money gets protected by the real estate just depending on the time frame. That is constant cash flow. That's more money than what the banks are paying you, and at the end of the day your money is backed by real estate.
Hmm. Right. So you're saying like I cover the down payment and then you pay me the higher interest.
Exactly. And so what I'm doing is I'm the one doing all the work. I'm the one dealing with the rentals, the tenants, the fix and flip, the contractors and all that stuff. So I own probably close to 100 doors all across Texas, New
Hmm.
Mexico, and this is
Hmm.
basically what I do. I've built out a whole
Hmm.
company, I've built out a whole business of the property management, the acquisition, the flips and flip, the construction and all that, and your money's backed by the real estate. So you basically, yeah, you're coming in as a private money investor, whether that money used for repairs or that money used for a down payment, and you're getting consistent cash flow every single month.
Okay. Like so what percentage is like a normal, like what's a normal like percentage, and then I guess how long would it be before you get the money back? Is that something you'd have to wait till the refinance and all that, or?
No, so just depending, we what we do is we offer between a year and 5 years. So the minimal
Mhm.
time frame is a year. So can it happen sooner? Can it happen in 2 months? Yeah, 1,000%. Can it happen in a
Okay.
year? 1,000%. But typically it's a year, and then so anything less than $25,000 is about
Mhm.
typically about 8%. Anything closer to the $50,000 is about 12%.
Okay. Okay. So then that's it's like monthly payments until the refinance, and then that's when you get the bigger chunk back.
Yeah, exactly. So it's basically it's a year balloon. So we have a
Hmm.
year to pay you back. So whether we refinance, whether we get another loan, whether it's a fix and flip, whether because there's sometimes some properties that we'll buy, kind of like the way you did on this one where you wanted to close on it and then sell it for a profit. So
Yeah.
there's properties and we work a lot of off market properties. So we'll pick up a property and then we'll turn around and then we'll sell it to an end buyer. So we'll use your money to close on that property and then we turn around, we sell it, and it can happen within 30 days. So again,
Mm.
the biggest thing about money, and this is what I tell people all the time, your money, your cash is burning when it's in the bank. The idea about money is not how much money you can make, it's how much money you can move. So when you get your
Yeah.
money back, you're going to be like, no, Chris, I don't want the money back. Here you go. Go make it make more money. And then you use that
Yeah.
cash flow. That's your spending money. You use your passive income to spend on whatever it is that you're trying to do. But see, again, we
Yeah.
get so caught up on trying to get a big lump sum every single time, and we're never moving the money.
Wow. That sounds a lot better, actually. Sounds a lot better for sure. Um, yeah, because everybody could use a little more money every month, you know?
Exactly. And that's, again, I think the biggest thing for a lot of people, again, we get, and this is just the way we're raised. This is the way society works. This is the way they want us to think. We go out there, we want to go get a job, we start chasing this money. I can make 20 grand, I can make 30 grand, I can make 100 grand. And then we're taking this money, we're making this money, and we're spending this money. We're making this money and spending this money. But the idea is, how do we make this money? Then how do we invest this money? And with that investment, that's paying us every single month, whether it's $100, whether it's $200, whether it's $500. Obviously, the more money you invest, the more money that's moving, and that's the money that you're spending. And at the end of the day, your money is still, the original investment amount is still there. And this is where you're whether you're using it for gas, whether you're using it for a phone bill, whether you're using it for a house payment. And this is what cash flow is all about. It's about the cash flow. That's the money you want to spend, is your cash flow. Well, your money is there making more money.
I hear you, man. That sounds a lot better. That sounds a whole lot better. Because, yeah, if I could have been making money this whole 6 months instead of spending it, that'd have been great
And that's
for sure.
exactly what's happening right now is, so in reality you're even probably losing more money because you're paying down this hard money loan, but that's mainly going to the interest in the first year, in the first 5 years of a mortgage. It's all
Right.
paid to the interest. So that eighty
Right.
thousand
Pretty much.
dollars is, you probably still owe $80,000, and you have your house trying to sell for a certain price. And the reality of it is, when you sell it, it's like people think like, well, no, I could hold on to it a little bit longer. But in order to make that money back, you would need to raise your price. And it's not like you could raise your price and sell it. So
Mhm.
it's just a lack of education, but that's okay because we don't know what we don't know until we start learning, until we start opening our
Right.
mind and start having these conversations. And again, this is it. You don't go to high school, you don't go to college for this and learn this overnight. And it's just like, oh yeah, real estate, let's go move the money. But now imagine, instead of you have buying this house, having your conversation with the realtors, having to go through a lender, having to make payments every single month, you just move your money for a year, and now you're making money. In that year you get your money back and you've made all this passive income, and you go back and then you invest more, and each year you continuously invest more.
Yeah.
And see,
Yeah. I like this.
this is so much better. So this is another thing I want to add. And I know I'm probably like information overload right now, but it sounds to me like you're getting the principle of it and you're getting like you're understanding it. There's people that I'll talk to and they just don't get it. And it's just, if you get it, you get it. But people talk about like investing into the crypto market or into the stock market. Well, Chris, I could go, and if XRP goes to the moon, I can make 50%, 60%. That's the thing. If if it does. S&P 500 stock market, that's if the company does good. It's not controlled by us. It's not controlled. It's controlled by the production as it. Where real estate, it's a fixed interest, and if not, you have a piece of property that your money is tied to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I never did well in the stock market or crypto or whatsoever. It's kind of, I almost feel like it's a scam.
1,000%. It is a scam. I believe it's a scam. But see, this is where they teach us, and this is where we get so caught up, because I was in that. I was in your shoes. I was into the crypto side, but it's the instant gratification. You're telling me if I put $100, I could make $1,000. You're telling me if I put $1,000, I could make 10,000. But let's look at the risk factor. But now if we go invest, let's just say $10,000 making 7% return. Okay, we make $700 year one. Next year we invest $20,000. Now that goes to 8% return. Okay, now we made $800 and $700. Okay, cool. Now we take that out. Year three, you invest $30,000. By year five, you've invested $50,000 and you're making 12% return. And it's all backed by real estate. You made money every single year, whereas you never set the if it does good or if it does bad.
Right.
Marcus, this is what we're gonna do. Let me talk to these people. Let me try to work something out for you. And then once we're able to get this done, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna be able to get it done. I'm gonna be able to help you out on that. We'll then go into the next thing, and I'll talk to you about some other deals that we have.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
Marcus, I text you again. I text you with my name. Again, my name's Chris Silva. You could save my number. Whatever you need, don't hesitate to reach out to me. But we're gonna talk. We're gonna touch base later today. When's a good time for me to give you a call back?
Anytime, Matt. Anytime.
Awesome, man.
Just not too late today.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
Like,
Yeah, no worries. We'll make sure it's quicker than later. Like I said, let me just make some phone calls, and we'll kind of go from there.
okay, and if you don't mind me asking, where are you located?
I'm located in El Paso, Texas.
Oh, you're in El Paso. Okay.
All the way west at the
wow.
right at the corner.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Mr.
Alrighty.
Marcus, I appreciate the phone call. It was good meeting you. Like I said, whatever you need, please don't hesitate to reach out. But we will be in contact, okay?
Okay, sounds great, man. I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks. All
Bye-bye.
right, take care.